da 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 da. Da 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 da. Hello once again, friends. Today is Wednesday. I don't even remember the date, but I know it's December and it's getting real close to Christmas. So, through many lives we have lived, today's Whispers from Eternity is number 198. Through countless lives I've sought your cup of sweetness, found other cups, yet thirsted evermore. The streams in the hills of time all found their way into a desert. Every noon of bright fulfillment, ere many hours did sink to evening gloom. Every noon of bright fulfillment, ere many hours did sink to evening gloom. Wow. Let's read this prayer demand by Paramahansa Yogananda. Perching in the trees of many lives, I sang thy songs. I, the nightingale of heaven, perched on the boughs of many lives, singing thy songs. My clear song reverberates over soul leaves that flutter with thy life. It thrills the night air in the private gardens of centuries, where many sleep, dreaming sweet fantasies or again nightmares of delusion. It wakens some of them with soft touches of thy reverberating cosmic song. I fly everywhere and give concerts to express thy joy in bowers of receptive hearts. Oh, I will come again and again to lure all souls with my songs, and to teach them thy songs, and invite them all to fly like me in thy skies of cosmic freedom. That is awesome. Who is this I perching in the trees of many lives singing thy songs? It's a very good juxtaposition of the I with thy. Well, it is the I here is the soul singing to us the songs of the infinite spirit, the beloved Father, Mother, Friend, our God. Many, many, many more people these days have an inkling or an inclination towards acceptance of the idea of reincarnation. When you think of one lifetime, after enough years of living in this body, and you begin to reflect as you get a little bit older, things you've done, places you've been, people you've met, people you've loved and maybe not so much loved, etc., etc. You think of your experiences of childhood and uh, grammar school, high school, college, maybe, and early adult years of child raising or perhaps working, schooling, etc., traveling, maybe, if you've been fortunate. And so you begin to think, it's like I have lived already several lifetimes. I like to think back to college when I was very young, obviously, and I was married and had a child early on, a quick beginner, quick learner, not about a learner, but anyway, quick study. And so I had many, many jobs through college, all sorts of odd things, steam washing large equipment and expensive cars to selling fire alarms. I washed dishes. I was a golf caddy on the Monterey Peninsula. I had a little landscaping business with a lawnmower that fit in my VW bug. I delivered newspapers in the middle of the night with my infant child in the back seat in a 1959 Volkswagen. Each of us have stories, don't we? And they're like each of them different lifetimes. And yet we remember them all to some extent, and probably If you think back, let's see, 1 hour ago, what was I thinking about? You probably don't have a clue. And when you think of your childhood, for example, oh, you get little snatches, little pictures, little images. If you put your mind to it, you can reconstruct in your mind's eye maybe portions of your childhood home, images of your parents, your siblings, perhaps, or your neighborhood and some of your friends. You can kind of, it's like a collage, right? But, those are just fleeting images. So, of course, we don't remember past lives when we've had to transit out of one body and have a period of rest somewhere and, and reappear in another human body. Is it even the same planet? Certainly not the same family. Well, I shouldn't even say that. It could be the same family, just occupying different roles. But you don't know that necessarily. So, of course, we don't remember something through the seemingly unbridgeable gap between lifetimes, what to mention within our own lifetime. This, this soul, as I call it, perching on the trees of many lives, giving concerts in bowers to receptive hearts. Well, that's an interesting one. Our sincere longing for high mindedness, which is to say, to be a person of peace and harmony, a person of unconditional acceptance of life and wisdom and strength and vitality, etc. We don't necessarily live that way yet fully. And so some of the songs we sing are not really songs of our soul and bowers to receptive hearts. But there is that part of our soul, or I should say our soul, in seen in its true nature, does that. It sings to us primarily, but occasionally when we speak words of wisdom or acts of kindness and so forth, it's our soul speaking through us to receptive hearts of a peace, of a consciousness, a satisfaction, a confidence greater than our own, greater than that which would be born merely of the body and the ego personality. But at this time of Christmas, this is why we instinctively, millions and millions of people, whether it be Jesus or whether it be Muhammad or Buddha or Krishna, Rama, etc., but it's a natural instinct of the soul, of refined hearts, to instinctively honor the birth of those souls who really do sing the soul songs to the bower of receptive hearts. We can't help but admire courage, strength, wisdom, compassion, purity of heart, nobility of character. And of course, there are people like that who, at least to some extent, are good people, lots of good people, really. But it's only when someone emanates a higher power in words we would describe in various ways. It could be saintliness, yes, that would certainly qualify. Humility, yes. Purity, yes. Various signs of a saintly nature that get exhibited. Not all of them get written up in books and movies. Not all of them are focal points of devotion. Some of them are unknown. Some of them are just known to you somehow in your life. But it's instinctive to celebrate the appearance, which is to say, the birth, the life, the teachings, if applicable, of great and noble souls. There are those who change history, perhaps through their violence or through their political acumen, and they can be honored too, soldiers who fall in the name of defending their ideals and their people and their country. Yet, as I say, there is a distinct character quality to those great saviors of humanity who have truly changed the course of history for the better, who have uplifted countless souls in admiration and devotion and aspiration, inspiration. The Christmas season holds forth for us for 2,000 years, because it's as if a psychic stream opens up in the clouds, opens up in the stratosphere of consciousness, and descends through the night skies of darkness at this time of the year, at least in the northern hemisphere. Okay, and it touches many hearts. People maybe just party on the low end of the spectrum. They don't really know what they're doing, um, but others feel uplifted. And it's natural to give gifts, to express one's love, to express one's gratitude. I think it's so wonderful and truly cosmic. I think super conscious that Abraham Lincoln, who was single-handedly responsible for the initiating of Thanksgiving, I think that it sort of starts off the holiday season is that is no divine coincidence. It's a wonderful reality, and it's a contribution of this American nation to the world to do so. Gratitude is the attitude, and that attitude can change our life. That attitude can affect other people. And it's interesting that that attitude surfaces in times of great difficulty, such as the world faces today. And so let us truly celebrate not just the birth of Jesus Christ or others, but that potential in us to be people of wisdom, nobility, kindness, compassion. Let this be. It's so perfectly timed. Let it be. Let that aspiration to be one of nobility, which includes humility. Humility is the basis for nobility. You know, there's some expression out there I've heard before. Wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. And so this bigness of character, which has its basis in the wisdom to know that we are nothing as a body or an ego and so forth. But out of that nothingness comes the freedom to be big, to be noble, to be gracious, to be expansive, to be non attached. Let this be our prayer, our affirmation for 2021. My sense of 2021 is we're not going to go back to anything we might have considered normal. No, I think our challenges as a planet, as a nation, etc., are only just beginning. You know, we've had post World War II, at least in America, we've been, well, very fortunate on every level. Speaking in general, not every person, obviously, but as a nation, as a people, prosperity, health, security, etc., all those kinds of things. But our time of trial has not ended, it has but begun. But this is our opportunity, as in times of war, but this is a different kind of battle. It's a battle for our soul when the soul is challenged and given the opportunity to stand tall and to be big, to be broad-minded, humble, yes, as I say, as the basis, but to grow out of our petty preoccupations. Let this be our aspiration, 2021. So perch in that tree and sing the song of the soul for receptive hearts to hear. Okay, great souls. Tomorrow, Whispers from Eternity, brought to you by Padma, and it'll be broadcast from the Ananda community in Linwood, Washington. Okay, I'm going to count down for this video to do what it's supposed to do, and then I'm going to sign off.